Wallace.
And I have Don Holly here with me.
Three phases, dressage, cross-country, show jump. And you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right. You know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.
Welcome to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. This is episode 7 of our season 2. Jon, we're here and we're going to have a great show. What do you think's going on and what are we going to do in this segment?
So we had a ton of results since the last time we were on.
Right.
I think there's been 3 CCI 4-star longs that have happened. So we need to make sure we recap all of the happenings of all the big events. And then we've got a little bit of a trip that you're going to tell us about that you guys took recently.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Terra Nova Equestrian Center down in South.
Yeah, so you can
Florida.
tell us a little bit about what you guys saw there. Yeah, and then later on we've got Colleen Loach and we've got Buck Davidson coming up.
You got a Canadian rider?
Yeah, I know,
Cool.
but we still like her.
I think she's kind of good.
She's all right.
She rides a horse named Vermont or something like that.
Yeah, it's like the whole state.
Well, they'll be fun to catch up with her and their cool horses that she's riding.
Yeah, so I think the first thing we do, and I know Briggs loves this when I look on my phone.
Yeah, he's been watching newscasters do it, and he goes, "It looks dumb when you look on your phone."
Right.
I was like, "Well, what else are we going to do?"
You know what the problem is? I pulled up all the results here, and it doesn't tell me which
So
event
we're going to
I'm
go.
on.
The first results you're looking for while we're
Carolina.
waiting is Carolina, and we went to Carolina. You did not.
Nope.
You were at Red Hills, which we already went through. So Carolina was, again, super cold. It was freezing there. And it seems like right before you get there and right after you leave, it goes back warm. So what was the results there? It had the 4-star short, 3-star short, 2-star short.
Yeah, so Will Coleman
I was
smoked
at
it.
the finish line when all this was going on.
Yeah, because you did a lot of commentary.
I was
going
going to interview the winners, and he smoked in. He was pretty funny.
Yeah, so he was good on off the record. Then Liz Halliday had her old campaigner Fernhill by night out.
Right.
And he looked amazing. Actually got a 23 on the flat.
Yep.
And then
She said she pressed the pedal as hard as she could for Blackie, and he did the best he could. But
yeah,
he
6.8
looked
times.
terrific.
So
Yeah.
hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Second out of 4-star. I think
She figured out where he needs to be.
Right. Yeah, she knows what he needs to do for sure. And then Will Faudree rounded out the top 3 there on fun.
Fun. Yep. It was quite a big Ian Stark, as we all would know. It was a big, bold, forward course. So it was good. Who was in the 3-star?
3-star. Phillip won that on Quasi Cool. And then Liz Halliday was second again. She was the bridesmaid all weekend. She had Cooley Stormwater there.
Right.
And then Sydney Elliott on Commando Dostui?
I don't know. Commando.
Commando. Good
like
job.
you do all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think you knew.
Well, it's noticeable.
Oh, great. It's not true, I swear. So it was a good weekend. It was really wet and cold there too, wasn't it?
It wasn't so wet, and I think just to let everybody know, that was the Briggs's 14-2 hand pony mare.
Right.
Tackled her first 3-star short.
Thing's incredible.
And it was an Ian Stark course, and she did super. I was really proud of him.
Smoked
Elisa was
it.
there, had some good educational stuff going on. You know, it was great. It was a good event. We, Jane and all the organizers and ground people did a great job being there. So the next one was another cold one.
The next one
was Stableview, which we didn't go to.
Yep, nobody was there.
Right.
Because we weren't there.
Wait.
But everybody was there.
That's right.
So, so the 4-star, Marilyn came out on Scandalous. And I tell you what, you see her show up to the event and you're like, well, okay, so who's going to be second? Because that girl is on fire on that horse.
Right.
So she won that. Phillip was there on Z. And realistically, that could be 2 members of the Olympic team.
Could
it?
be.
Right there.
Could
You
be.
could have Marilyn and Phillip there for sure. And then we had someone who's going to be on here shortly. Buck on Errol Gobby was 3rd.
Good for Buck rounding out the top 3.
Yeah, and actually kind of cool. Holly Jacks, who's a good friend of ours and been on
4th.
the show, she was 4th, and then Buck was again 5th. So,
Wow.
And now Holly rides with Buck, so he kind of
Went back and
yeah,
forth.
right between him and his student. So that was good. And then the 3-star there.
That was the 3-star.
Oh, that was the 4-star.
4-star. I'm sorry, Stapleview.
That was the
I'm
4-star.
on a different
Then
page.
Leslie won on Lady Chatterley in the 3-star.
What a nice horse that is.
Yeah, and then Liz, again, bridesmaid on Cooley HHS. I want to say Calamari, but that's not right.
Sounds interesting.
Calmaria? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, she was second. And then Isabel Bosley on Night Quality, who I don't know Isabel.
You know what we
actually.
should start doing? Ring a rider.
Ring a
You know,
rider.
we have a phone right here.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We could ring a rider.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And just call them. Say,
Yeah.
what's your horse's name again?
But don't get excited. It's not happening right now.
No, but it sounds good.
So that was the results for the
Stableview.
4 and 3-star
Then
at Stableview.
we just got back from Carolina.
No, we did
Or,
not.
I mean,
we got back
see, I don't even
from,
know where I am.
We got back from
Tryon.
the Fork. Yeah, the Fork at Tryon.
And that was cold again.
Oh my God, it was so cold. I got on my horses on Friday.
It was 28 degrees.
All of them wanted to kill me.
I would imagine.
And to be honest, it kind of continued through the whole weekend for me.
I know. Well, you know, sometimes you got to just block one out. Just block that one out.
Yeah, we're moving on.
But the
so-
4-star winner, I know who this is.
Yeah,
Doug.
Doug won on Van Diver.
Yep.
We got Boyd on Sesterleg.
Yep.
And then Tammy Smith on My Bomb.
Bomb.
And I'll tell you what, they all look great. The one thing at that event that I really thought Mark would change, and he didn't, was that drop into the
Landing
water.
into the water because Tammy almost lost it.
I know. And I'm sorry, Mark, but
I agree with you.
It rewards backward riding into the water, and it punishes good
'Cause she
positive
was
riding
forward
into
into the water and almost came
And
off.
the horses stumble and fall, and I think there's a bunch of reasons for it. I'm not a course designer, but I do believe
Yeah,
that the way
but-
the brush is set on the end of the peninsula with the brush out the sides, and then there's not a landing pad in the
I
water.
think that's the biggest thing that everybody out there can think. When you go in and you walk that water, it's flat to the base.
Right.
It doesn't have like any kind of slope
Yeah,
up.
there's
so
no
that-
landing pad because it was built to jump up, not
Right.
in. And so they got to do something about that. They really do because it's
I agree.
It's
Because I looked at it.
punishing.
I looked at it with Briggs when we were walking it for the pony,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, they didn't fix this, and the
And
pony
they stumbled.
landed pretty hard and went left.
And I sat out there and watched and videoed a bunch, and I saw 2 riders go down and I think 1 horse go down
Right.
jumping into that water. And I know it's cross country and
Sure,
you got to
it's
deal
gonna
with
happen,
it.
but it
The
happens.
rest of the course was beautiful, but that water and that landing, they do have
I
to
agree
figure
with
that
you.
out.
Are you checking your watch?
It was just because we had to have a timer, and
You were it?
Briggs has the timer, but I didn't see the timer, so I started my timer.
We're still good, right?
Yeah, we're good. We got lots of time. So the 3-star was, I got to get better at knowing everybody. Lucienne Elms.
Oh, you know Lucienne.
I do?
She's from-
Oh, I do know. Yes.
She's from France.
Sorry, I do know. I apologize. Then Allison Springer on Crystal Crescent Moon.
Right.
And then Tammy, she's just cleaning up out here on the East Coast on, how do you say that one? Sola. This is why I'm
That's
not
the
an
California. I
announcer.
just say California.
All right, then California. Tammy rode California
easier. It's like
and did
Vermont.
pretty good.
California, Vermont. Elisa was winning that one, the 3-star, with her Riot Gear horse with a 23.
Yeah?
And she unfortunately had a couple rails, which he typically jumps around clean, and then she just let off the gas pedal a little bit cross country. But he's doing the 4-star at 4-star short at Kentucky.
Yeah, well, and that's smart, right? Like you go in, you have a good dressage, you
Yep.
go jump the show jump round intending to be super competitive, you drop a couple rails, that changes the plan.
And the one that she came to get help from you, Let It Be Lee, was in the 4-star, and man, that he smoked around the cross country. I was so proud.
got
of
the
her.
corners.
Got the corners
We got
done.
the
You
corners.
did a good job coaching.
Yeah, all right.
So
was
that
good.
ended the competition time, right?
Yeah.
We all got home. You had to go to Lexington, give a clinic.
Yep, I got to go. Actually, I don't know if I did it right or not. I drove with Jen and Caden from here to Tryon. And then they went home with the horses with Margaret, and I drove Sunday afternoon to Lexington, which was great. I taught 2 days of a clinic at Alyssa Gibbs,
Right.
she's got this beautiful new farm in Lexington. It is gorgeous, like 10, 15 minutes from the horse
Wow.
park. Anybody that is living in that area that needs a place with a beautiful indoor arena, beautiful
Good for her.
outdoor arena, lovely barns, cool piece of property, really good location. I mean, look her up because it's awesome.
That's a good plug, Alyssa. There you go.
Yeah, no, it's really good. So I got to go there, teach 2 days. That was really fun. And then it seemed like such a good idea when I planned it to then drive home. But I forgot it's like 12 hours. And then the interstate was shut down in Tennessee. So I drove until about 1 a.m., stopped, thought I would sleep, but of course then I was so full of caffeine I sat up until about 2:30, which then I was mad because I thought, well, I could be home in like 2.5 hours. Why did I stop? So I
And then
slept
we
a little
talked
bit.
this morning. You were driving. I was going to Tallahassee.
Yeah. So anyway, so here we
Here
are.
you are.
I'm feeling very
You look
fresh,
good.
fresh as a daisy, ready to go.
I know. And I traveled down with Joel, who EQ TV and our producer and partner here on the show, to Terra Nova Equestrian Center near Fruitville, Florida, where in the fall they're going to have the October 4-star, 3-star, 2-star short. And
Yep.
all the divisions. They're especially aiming at that. It was beautiful. We're going to talk more about it in the next show, further down in April. But let me tell you, what a place.
Yeah, you sent me a couple photos, and I can't wait to.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the interviews. That'll be the next episode. Is we're gonna get a little
Yeah.
tour, right?
Sure.
All right.
And then we're going to wind this down and bring in our guest. Huh?
Yeah, so we'll have Colleen Loach coming up next in our Stress Less segment. So we will be right back with Colleen. Want to advertise on the Jon and Rick Show? Contact Jon at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
When it comes time to compete, I demand the best out of my horses and myself. That's why Elemental Fit Lab, the home of CrossFit antics, is my home gym. Coach Vilma and her team create a fun, welcoming environment for athletes of all levels. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, Elemental Fit Lab will guide you towards a stronger, healthier version of you. Mention the Jon and Rick Show to get 3 free personal training sessions with enrollment.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, and amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information. Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stress Less Horse Supplement.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are here in our Stress Less segment, and really happy to be joined by Colleen Loach. Colleen, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. I have said it often on this show that I'm super proud because you actually, when you were younger, got suckered into coming down and working for us, which was awesome because now I get to take
you can
advantage
tell
of it.
stories then.
There are a lot of stories.
We've got stories.
What years was that?
Oh my gosh, I must have been 18 the first time.
Yeah.
So I'm 37 now.
It was
a while
like
ago.
18 years, well, 17, 18, 19
Do
years
math.
ago?
Do math.
I'm doing
18 from 37.
So how was that experience?
It was great. It was a great opportunity for me coming out of Quebec.
Yep.
I remember coming and telling Jon and Jen I didn't know how to ride a corner. And they said, they took me up to a corner, explained that you bisect it down the middle and ride perpendicular to that line. And I was like, oh, that's pretty simple.
And then she got it. That was the great
Then I
thing.
could jump a corner.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Colleen. You just had to show her. And then she got it.
Done.
But you had to show her.
So how long did you stay at the Holly?
I think probably 3 years, not straight on, because I would do
Back
a
and
semester
forth.
of school and then
Sure.
come down, and then as long as
So
I
you
could.
got your degree Canada, or you did
Yeah,
some
well,
college?
I finished CEGEP, and then I never actually finished university because I got offered a job by Peter Barry in the end. And
What a great job to have.
yeah,
And you're
I'm
still,
still there. So
Yeah, exactly, because I think I see the big van parked off 225A.
Yeah, that's where we're stable
right
this winter.
next to Lightspeed.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So one of the other cool things, Rick,
Okay.
about
Because I'm
Colleen.
going to still get her to spill some beans.
Oh, there's good stories. But one of the other cool things that I didn't know immediately and discovered, I think it was maybe your second year down with us, is that your job that you had, you were a telemarketer.
Yes.
So
What do you
so-
do telemarket?
Phones, like package deals or discounts on certain things, a whole bunch of different stuff. Whatever they gave me, I had to
So it's
do.
great. So if I ever talk to her on the phone, I never feel bad hanging up. Like, she's used to it. Conk.
You get all kinds of things. You get marriage proposals. You get sex
Have you
tapes
really?
on machines.
You're
you get all
kidding.
kinds of different things when you're
You need to
calling
be a
people.
telemarketer. Answer to your prayers.
Why? Well,
I don't know. It seems like a line of business you'd like to be in.
ha. I don't know what that says.
It paid for my horses.
So let's hear about your career. Why don't you ramble it off since you know her so well?
Well, I mean, I probably don't know it that well as Colleen does, but you've obviously ridden around Kentucky several times.
1.5 times.
There you go. So we'll call that several. And then you were on which team for Canada?
So my first team experience was the 2015 Pan Ams in Toronto, which was very cool, being home in
Yeah.
Canada.
That was cool.
Yeah. And then was Rio, 2016.
And those were both on Corey?
Yes.
Yep.
On Corey. And then the WAG, 2018, again on Corey.
And I remember that vividly because she was first rider out and
was.
smoked around the course. And
You made it look easy.
Corey made it look like an equitation round, and I think he kind of surprised everybody.
It was awesome.
yeah, I think he surprised you. You were saying
it
this
felt
weekend.
so easy, yeah.
Like, oh.
It's like nothing's going to change today. It's an
That's
easy course
crazy.
because
That's
he's just such
crazy.
a good boy.
And he didn't mind the waterfall up the bank either, did he?
He didn't mind anything. Honestly, he didn't put a foot wrong that day.
Yeah. That's the right day to do it, baby.
Yeah.
How'd you finish there?
Not that well because I had a few rails on the show
okay.
gumming. Being an older horse, the day off in between because of the
was kinda
storms
tough.
didn't really help him out,
Right.
and I didn't ride overly well. But
It happens.
he's a good boy.
And then you went to the Pan Ams on Goldie,
GoldenEye,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Who was only 7 in hindsight. It was a bit much for him with what the course turned out being.
Because we never expect what is going to be
Yeah.
expected.
It was a lot for him.
Yeah, so that course, because I have heard it was over the top, but like just
What
what was
yeah.
it? Why was it just so difficult?
It was twisty, turny. I think it was the 3rd or 4th fence. You jumped on an angle over a big tricaner into the arena, like going right into the grandstands, and then you had a big water jump. It was just a lot coming fast at them.
So
and
spooky.
Yeah, quite
Not
They could
was
spooky.
it
really
big too,
settle
or
in.
just spooky?
No, I wouldn't say it was overly big.
Just
Somewhat,
just tricky and trappy.
yeah, tricky and trappy. Yeah, I think that's
Right.
a good way to put it.
Right.
And not that this is any excuse, but my whip broke after fence 2.
That doesn't help
So when
either.
he got a little bit spooky and backed off, I
You had nothing.
I had nothing to just say, hey, come on, stay
That's
out
a-
of my leg.
That's a pretty legit excuse.
Well,
I mean, what
I-
you should have done. I see. I didn't teach you well enough because I had that happen to me at Camino Real in Texas when I was probably about 19. And I dropped my whip, switching it from one hand to the other. Because
Did you stop and pick
Because
it
I'm a
up?
super coordinated person, and had to go jump into the water. And the horse had stopped at the water at the last event, and I just flapped my elbows and screamed as loud as I could
Maybe I should have
into
done
the
that.
water.
That sounds like Leslie and Kyle at times.
I was a little bit a la Leslie and Kyle. I don't know if Leslie or Kyle would scream, but I screamed the whole way into the water, and it did work. So you should try that if that happens again.
All right, I will.
She doesn't seem like somebody that would scream.
Sometimes I'm not so sure when I see Colleen. Sometimes I think she's mad at me. She doesn't actually talk a lot, much less scream.
That's because she did all that telemarketing. Why would she want to talk?
You used all your words.
Oh, they're all used
They're all
up.
gone.
Oh, Lord.
So just back to Triumph, because that's obviously where you were at the WEG. You just finished up there with the 3, right?
Correct. Yes.
So you had a pretty good weekend, yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was good. They were all good. It wasn't quite the results I was hoping for, but.
So run us through the weekend. So you had Corey there.
So Corey was in the advanced horse trial.
Yep.
And I thought he was very good in dressage. He got a 32.5,
Right.
which is, for a good test. I would have hoped for more. He got all of his changes and whatnot.
Right.
He had one rail down in the show jumping, but he jumped very well. I was very happy with him. It was a really neat experience jumping under the lights there.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it
And it
was-
was cold.
It was cold, yeah.
And a lot of
Canadians are
atmosphere.
used to that. Although you've been in Florida where it's been
Yeah, I'm
warm.
a little spoiled. I'm not
It
a true
happens
Canadian
fast.
anymore.
It happens fast.
Yeah.
And then you had Vermont there.
Vermont and GoldenEye in the 4 short.
So how was Vermont?
Vermont was great. He got a bit tense in the dressage. That's the thing that can get him sometimes is tension in the dressage. He's a great jumper. So far, he's been a super cross-country horse. He not only tries to get between the flags, he tries not to touch them.
That's even
It's pretty
better.
amazing.
Yeah.
And he's such a large horse, it's sometimes kind of funny.
And
yeah.
funny because Vermont's a small state.
Yeah.
It is. It isn't Bernie Sanders. He's the.
New Hampshire, isn't
Is
it?
he New Hampshire? It's basically the
I
same
feel
thing
like
to
he's
me.
New
It's
Hampshire.
like how people feel about Wisconsin and Minnesota. Vermont and New Hampshire
It's
are the
what?
same thing.
Is it Vermont?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Vermont.
You should maybe hit Bernie
Maybe
up,
I'm-
see if he wants to help sponsor out
He
a
has
sponsor
mittens.
horse.
Yeah, he does.
He
Yeah.
could maybe get you a set of
Did
those
a
mittens.
meme of him on Vermont.
Yeah, perfect.
And
Okay,
then
and then you had Golden.
Goldeneye.
Yes, GoldenEye was good in the dressage, good in the show jumping. Also had one down. I think he just came down and got a little green
It was
in the
a tough
triple
course.
and came down on the back rail of
Yeah.
middle oxer.
Yep.
But again, jumped very well. He was a little spooky, but
Everything
that's
on
him.
that course was related. There was not one
There-
fence I
you're
felt like.
absolutely
Michel
right.
Vaillancourt.
Yeah, it was like,
I liked
holy
his
smokes.
courses, but it's more like real show jumping.
Right.
We have a lot more related
Right.
things.
Yeah, that makes it difficult, real show jumping. So now, where are those horses headed then? After that event?
Kentucky,
All
the
of
two
them.
younger ones in the 4 short, and Corey in the 5 long.
Great.
Knock
That's
on
gonna
wood,
be a
if all
busy,
goes well.
busy weekend.
Yes,
Or week.
I'm looking forward to it.
And so then after the 4 short with the other 2, will you head to Bromont with them then?
I'm thinking Jersey right now, just because I don't know what's going to happen with the
I
border
think that's
closure
a lot of people are thinking
situation.
the same
Right.
thing.
I would love to do Bromont. It's my favorite event. It's close to home, et cetera, et cetera.
We
but
love Sue as
Yeah.
well, and she's working hard. I hope they pull
I
it
know
off.
she's really trying hard, but I hope that she
I
gets
hope it pulls
done.
through.
but-
Yeah,
and
I-
who knows what happens? Maybe I'll end up with one left to go there.
Sure, you never know.
And for what it's worth, I've got Jay Hambley, who's the course builder at Bromont. He's also the course designer here at Ocala next week.
Yes.
And he swears up and down it's happening.
Right.
Everybody's gonna be able to get in. It's no problem.
That's right here.
But
you don't have
It's
that,
hard to
the government saying it yet.
right unless I hear Trudeau tell me it's happening and we can
Right.
come in.
And you
I'm
don't have to
like-
quarantine for 2
And
weeks.
even then, actually, given Trudeau's record, I'm not so sure that even then I'd believe that. I might be like, we'll see, old Justin boy. Well, that's cool. So was that? So okay, so that wasn't their last run there before Jersey because you're going to take them to the 4 short. You said so.
Correct. Yeah.
Good. And will you run them at Ocala in any of the combined test things or anything?
No, I didn't plan on doing that. Partially because I'm sending a trailer home with my young horses, and I don't want to drive the big lorry back and forth.
Right. All right. Fair enough.
And
Well,
I figured
listen,
I'd be packing and organizing. So.
We're going to take a quick break. Thank you for joining us for the Stress Less segment, and thank you Stress Less for sponsoring the segment.
And doing all these horses.
Yeah, I mean it's an amazing
You
product.
should, we'll get Colleen to try some stress
it's-
less. Maybe it'll help the tension in Vermont.
Vermont
Yeah,
could
actually,
use some.
Pretty amazing stuff.
It is really
I've
good.
never
It
tried
really
it.
is. It's really good.
Yeah. So we're going to be right back. I want to discuss about some immigration issues in Quebec, and we're going to talk about bikini galloping. So
Oh, wow, wait.
right back.
And before we go, hothorsesupplement.com is where you can go for stress less. It's at the bottom of
Perfect. All right, bikini galloping as soon as we get back. Jump for Joy USA has what you need for your private farm or recognized competition. Our jumps are no maintenance, easy to move, and affordable. No scraping or painting necessary. We offer jump stands, wings, fillers, water trays, and more. Poles are wood-filled and available in 4 weights and lengths, and we now offer octagonal poles. Our cross-country portables and brush jumps are extremely useful and have been used for training by the British eventing team since 1990. Easy to move from the arena to the field and no tractor required, so you can change your setup often. We ship coast to coast in the USA and Canada. Visit our website, jumpforjoyusa.com.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stressless can help. Stressless, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stressless today and see for yourself why we think Stressless is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stressless Horse Supplement.
Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance. Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique uses manual pressure and stretching to release points of restriction, leading to freer movement, reduced soreness, and restored range of motion. He has a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle. You can quickly identify and correct any balance issues and can adjust your saddle on site. I personally have Grant work on all of my event horses to keep them feeling their best before, during, and after their competitions. Grant is based in Florida year-round, but regularly travels to Georgia, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're in the studios. We're still joined by Colleen, and we're going to hear some interesting stories, I think. When I heard galloping, bikini galloping or something, I'm really interested in what you wore and what color was it. Was it pink polka dot? What was it?
It was a lot of chafing was the problem, actually.
So what's that all about?
So I will tell my version, and then Colleen, you can tell the version that you would like to be the truth.
Yeah, we'll have to do a fact check.
Okay. Yes. See how many, what is the thing you get on Snopes? Like how many onions or something?
Tomatoes, right?
No,
Is it
I
onions?
think that's Rotten Tomatoes. That's a movie review. So that's something else entirely.
I don't know. Well, let's give you like 1 or 2 horseshoes. It's a
Okay,
horseshoe.
yeah, so I get 5 horseshoes for truth.
Okay.
So this, I think, was your first year that you were down.
Yes,
You
because
had-
Shannon was there.
'cause You had
so it would've
Shannon
been-
Van Beert
yeah.
and you were on Dancer. And Jen and I don't know where we were, but we were in town and we drove back home, and I don't think the girls knew that we were going to be home as early as we were. So as we come driving in the entrance to the farm, I am driving up the driveway, and I look over up the side of the driveway, and I see these 2 horses galloping around the back corner of the field. And I look, and it's Colleen and Shannon on their horses. They had saddles, no helmets, in bikinis, galloping, jumping the ditch brush. And I look at Jen, and Jen looks at me. I'm like, oh, that is awesome. Like, I am so proud of those 2. Look at them out there, like, smoking around, having a good time. Like, that's why
Did
people
Jen
don't
lose
ride
it?
as... No, Jen was cool, too. I'm like, that's why these kids nowadays they aren't tough. They don't
Right.
ride because they don't do stupid stuff that you shouldn't do, like chase ponies across the
I'm
field
sure
and jump
some
barrels
of them
and
might
logs.
do it. We just don't know about it.
And so Jen's like, yeah, I know, it's great. Are you gonna yell at them or am I? And I'm like, oh yeah, I have to go yell at them because they're being idiots and you can't jump in a bikini with no helmet. You have to wear a helmet for sure.
Bikini's fine.
Yeah, the
Well,
bikini
we
was
didn't.
fine.
Yeah, okay.
was-
I'm gonna wait my turn.
So I went up and told them that they can't do this, and I don't think I actually yelled, but
Were they still in their bikinis?
I don't think you yelled.
no. So that's the version I remember.
Okay.
But apparently Colleen thinks that's
First,
slightly
we're
different.
going to have her rate you on 5. 5 is fully truth, down to 0, which is zero
a
truth
complete
at all.
lie.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to say a 3 because there are 2 inconsistencies.
Okay, all
Three
right.
horseshoes.
Sometimes
for
I
truth.
tell the story they were also bareback, but I'm pretty sure they actually had
No, we
sandals.
were bareback.
Okay, there you
Oh.
go. Okay, all right, so go
Okay.
ahead.
So
Go
we
ahead.
were 100% bareback. We 100% did not have bikinis on.
I think you did.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Okay, all right.
What I'm not clear on is if we were in bridles or halters and leads. I thought we were in halters and leads, but we may have had bridles on.
Okay.
So was
And-
it in your bra?
No, we had clothing on.
a bra is clothing.
We were shy teenagers. There was no way. I remember once he came back from town and we were running in a like a sport
Maybe
bra.
that's
top.
it. Maybe I've melded these memories
And then
together.
we saw him coming and we like sprinted for the woods because we were so shy.
So
You know
I
what?
wouldn't even-
Actually, I will say Colleen is probably right, and not because of Colleen, but because Shannon actually would have been horrified for sure. She was
Well,
very
then I
shy.
would give you a 1 horseshoe.
no.
They didn't have saddles on.
Well, but
They-
we don't know that she's telling the truth. She
Yes,
might
I
have
do.
a 2.
I give her a 5
Why?
because look at her.
Look at me.
Oh God.
Okay.
She's from Quebec.
Those of you that can't see her, she
It would have
looks
been a
very
cooler
truthful.
story if I was in a bikini top, but I
It is
wasn't.
a cooler story, which is why I probably tell it that way. And I think we should just stick with that version because it's a
All
good
right,
story.
fair enough. But we were also bareback. That was for sure.
Okay, so
'Cause
I can add that to my version.
Dancer had quite a wither on him, and it was a little bit uncomfortable
Yeah,
at
that would
times.
be fun.
Did you jump the ditch brush? Because I feel like you
Yes.
jumped. Yeah, okay. So that part was right too. So it was stupid.
Yeah. I mean, today you'd get in a lot of trouble for doing stuff like that.
Right, right. Don't do this at home.
Yeah.
We're trained professionals.
Well, good. I'm
Right.
glad you had a little fun.
But that's how I developed my seat, doing dumb stuff
Exactly.
like that.
Exactly.
Well,
That was-
Lisa goes out with halters and bareback, but a helmet.
Right.
But now,
Nowadays
I'm sure
you wear a
you
helmet,
do
but
too.
back
You wear
then,
your bareback. and-
back then it just wasn't
Helmets
such a
weren't there,
thing. Yeah,
right.
and
yeah, even
we
18
should have
years
been wearing
ago.
one, obviously, but
But we didn't know.
it wasn't.
We didn't know that if you hit your
As
head, you
frowned
might
it
get hurt.
wasn't that long ago that I rode everything on the flat in a baseball hat.
Yeah.
I do. I see pictures of me, and I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
You know,
Dumb.
what- yeah.
Yeah, when you
Everybody
look
out
back on
there,
it.
we do not promote not wearing helmets. You got to wear your helmet and
Yes.
make sure that it's the good one that's approved.
Especially-
1K is a really good helmet, and yours is
I do like those as well.
UVEX. What one do you?
I have 1Ks and I have some Sam Shields as well.
See,
Right.
all across the board.
Yeah, UVEX is awesome. So if you're gonna wear a bikini when you gallop, make sure you have your helmet. That's the.
I wonder if
moral of the
1K
story.
could come out with a bikini.
Maybe after this segment.
That's right.
You could get a bikini sponsorship, and then you'd have to ride cross country in a bikini. It'd be better for you than me. It'd be weird if I had it.
Yeah, it would be really
The,
weird.
the safety vest would kind of. take
You
the
have to
fun
wear
out
it
of
over the safety vest, maybe.
Oh.
That'd be
Well,
awkward for
like
sure.
your jerseys when you lose your bets.
Yeah, or like when you do in elementary school when you have the pennies and no pennies,
Right.
right? Be like that. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is I was driving back from Lexington from my clinic last night and listening to a lot of satellite radio, and I turned on NPR, and they were saying that there's a thing in Quebec where, which you probably know, you have to have your residency as someone coming in, you have to pass a French proficiency test.
Okay.
Okay? And people from France who are French speaking from birth are failing the Quebec French test and are not being allowed to stay as residents because they have failed this test.
Really?
I have not heard that.
Yeah, this is a legit thing. So I'm just concerned for you because you've been down here for a little while. I want to make sure you get back in.
Right. Well, I'm probably more fluent in the Quebecois French as opposed to the Parisian French, so I'd probably be okay.
Right, right.
Is it a lot different?
It is. It's more like a slang of French
Slang of
sort
French.
of thing. Yeah.
They played two people speaking French. One, a Parisian French, French,
French,
like a
right?
French fry,
Yeah.
and then a Quebec French. And yeah, you listen to the two, you're like, holy smokes, is that the same language? No
Right.
wonder they're
Well, it's
failing.
like anything else that
right.
I mean, there's Spanish is the same way. You got all kinds of different dialects, so I could see
Right.
where it would be a problem. I mean, it happens.
But
I would never get in because I don't know any French.
Well, that's what I thought. Then I was actually quite depressed because I was like, well, what if I wanted to move to Quebec?
Yeah.
I'd have to learn French.
Would you really want to move to Quebec?
I don't know. Maybe. I love poutine. It's great.
Poutine is
Well,
good.
after all, you do have, and that's a good
Tim
segue.
Hortons.
Good segue for
Right.
team things in Canada. What's going on? Who's
Right.
helping you? What's happening?
Well, it's a little bit up in the air right now. We're in a period of reorganization.
I've heard that for a while.
Yeah. So we don't have a coach at the moment, and we don't have a chef at the moment. And
Have you gotten a manager yet? Is that the chef?
No. Well, we have a manager, so to speak, Fleur Tipton, but she's more like a secretary / manager. She's not like a chef d'equipe.
Right. So
And
we
she
have
does
a-
a great job at what she does, but it's not her role to be our chef.
Any candidates?
Yeah, we've got a list. A bunch of the riders have gotten together and created a group, and we're at least speaking now and
That's
speaking
good.
to yeah.
Good.
It's good when you guys talk to each other.
Yeah,
That's
and
super helpful.
when we talk to the ones in charge at Equestrian Canada as well.
Right.
And back and forth. It's
Communication
very
is
helpful.
key.
Communication is key and has been somewhat lacking in the past, but we're
Right.
working on a better future.
That's
in
a
that
good.
sense.
That's good to hear. So what is going to happen for 2021? Are they sending somebody or?
We are allowed to send 2 individuals, which
Two.
we are planning on doing.
Oh, good. And
Yes.
how is that determined?
Selectors, which we are down a selector at the moment, so we need.
So who do you have now? As
Right now we
selectors?
have Penny Rowland
Yep.
and James Atkinson,
So you need a third person.
because Rob resigned, Rob Stevenson. So
Right.
we, they are.
I'll tell you guys who to take.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, perfect.
John can be our selector.
You're once removed Canadian.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love poutine. I love
You could actually,
Canadian
you could
beer.
actually switch and ride for Canada.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
That's a
Elisa
great
could
plan.
too.
Join
Y'all
us.
could all like be.
But I can't
Canadian.
speak French, so I wouldn't be allowed.
Not.
I love hockey.
There you go.
That's
You're allowed.
something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and poutine, so you're good.
Well, so for you, you would want to go there on who?
On quarry. I actually, originally I had declared all 3 of them, but learning from my Pan Am experience, I think it would be a bit much for the 9-year-olds. And I think particularly Vermont, I would have a chance to do quite well in Rome.
Right.
And so I
So
would
it's a
like
good
to
thing
give
to-
him more experience and time to develop before doing a big trip like that. And
Which is really the next year now, isn't it? Because we
Yeah.
don't have the off year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so,
Wow,
I mean,
that's coming up
this
fast.
is dreaming in Technicolor, but
Sure.
that's
okay.
my
But
thinking.
how else can
Do
you
it.
get there?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool.
I think he's a great horse and has a lot of potential.
And how's Peter doing?
Peter's doing well. He's a little bit annoyed to be stuck in Canada. He gets a
He
bit,
must be itching to get out.
yeah, he really wants to come to Kentucky, but this whole thing, you have to quarantine when you go back to Canada in a hotel, pay $2,000 to quarantine for your first 3 days in a hotel. Then once you get a negative test back, you can do the rest of your 14 days at home. But it's all a bit of a headache, so.
Well, I hope that gets cleared up. And Peter, if you're
Yeah.
out there listening, we hope you can make it to Kentucky because we'd love to see you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being on the show. It's been great having you, and we're excited about you maybe going to Tokyo.
Hopefully. Cross
I'd
my
say
fingers.
you're the lock. Done.
Locked in.
Yeah, that's why I won't be a selector. All right, thanks for joining us, and we're going to be right back with Buck Davidson.
Really?
Yeah,
Is he in the house?
he's in the house. I
All
just
right.
saw him.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stressless Horse Supplement.
Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance. Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're here at Horse Trailer Pros Studios, easy for me to say. And we are joined by our good friend, Buck Davidson. Buck, thanks for coming on the show.
Glad to be here.
I just
Got
want
me
to
off
say
the farm.
I really like it when he messes up.
I mean, it happens
I
a
don't
lot.
even notice.
Well,
So-
welcome.
Thank you. Glad
Yeah,
to
so
be
we're
here.
excited to have Buck here. So, Buck, you have ridden on 2 Pan American game teams, right? And a WEG, is that right?
2 legs.
2 WEGs. Sorry, I didn't mean
Yeah.
to shortchange you.
It's okay, John.
And we were actually just talking before we got on here. The first team experience you had was on a horse named Pajama Game.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying, what about his breeding now?
Yeah, he's half Morgan.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, just sort of happened.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What year was that?
A long time ago.
It was 90,
Yeah.
wasn't it like 99?
It was pre-kids, let's put it that way.
99 like your Jeep.
Yeah, I got a green Jeep.
Isn't
Yeah.
that weird? It would be 99.
I think it was 99. I might be wrong, but I feel like that's
Okay,
the
that's
right
good.
year.
Let's go with that. It was in Winnipeg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
So
Well, the cool thing about what's going on in Buck's life, at least I think it's cool, is that you have 2 really beautiful daughters, beautiful wife, and a new farm.
that is true. And luckily, my kids don't look like me. They look like my wife.
I mean,
So-
you said it. I didn't want to say that, but yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's
Tell us
crazy.
tell us about the farm, because it's cool. It's a cool farm. I really think it's really neat. Lay it out for us so everybody knows.
Yeah, funny enough, I was sort of looking around for the last few years, and I, kind of went looking all over the place.
Right.
And I'd actually been to the farm that I'm currently at probably 10 years ago with a jumper friend of mine. I don't know why we stopped in there, but I was like, wow, this is awesome.
Pretty cool.
And I remember him saying to me, oh, I think if you had, $1 million or something, you could buy this farm. And I laughed like, yeah, right. Never going to buy a farm for $1 million. But it almost seemed like too good a deal to pass up. Things are going too good here in Ocala.
Right.
And it suits me. It's 64 acres. It's got 89 stalls, which I didn't really realize.
Yeah, but I know you. You'll fill.
Oh, he already
You'll
did.
fill
they were-
98 of
we
those
had
stalls.
we had 97 there at one point.
What did I say?
But,
It's like I know you.
But I figured it was cheaper to knock stuff down than it was to build it.
Right.
And I'm pretty good at knocking stuff down. Building, not
That's-
so good.
That's always the easy part, is knocking.
That's because
Yeah.
you're an event writer. We're always good at knocking stuff down.
Exactly. So, it has a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house,
the pool.
a pool, hot tub if it's hot.
Working.
Yeah, exactly.
So in the
working
summer,
now.
it's a hot tub.
Yeah,
In winter, it's a
exactly.
cold tub.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got a track.
It's got an irrigated track. It's got I have a whole cross country course now.
Right.
It's a
And it's,
dressage area.
it's close. It's close to 441. You're off 329.
Yep.
I know the farm so well because we looked at it last year.
It wasn't
So-
good enough for you, but it's plenty good
No,
enough
it was
for me,
too,
right?
It was too blue for me. It was just too blue. We called it the blue farm. It's not much
I
blue.
guarantee you, give it
Yeah.
6 to 12 months, it'll be red and yellow.
Well, it had a nice red and yellow sign out, and I decided I was going to mow the other day on my zero-turn tractor.
The Kubota.
Kubota, yep. And I was driving, and I ran over a water line, right?
I've done that before.
Man, water. So I'm, oh shit, what's all that? Excuse me.
It's all right. We're
Oh,
on
you're
YouTube.
good.
You do whatever you want.
So I look back, and I'm like, wow, man, there's a flood. I crashed into my sign, and my sign, boom, knocked over.
So you hit the water line, got distracted, ran into the sign.
Yep, and
That's
then,
awesome.
And then proceeded to turn on the water jump, forget about it, left it all night. And,
I do that monthly. You know what? Here's the thing. When that happens and all of the kids at the farm are looking at you like, what an idiot. You
Yeah.
just say, no, I was cleaning it. I was flushing the
water.
water
I
out.
just get like mad at myself, and I'm just like, you guys are so lucky this was me.
Yeah, I think so here's the deal. He's got the 72-inch Kubota zero turn. I've got it. Do you have that?
I have the same one, yeah.
So I was mowing, I've done 3 water lines already.
All right.
And then I was doing it, and now here's my trailer with the big awning out. It's like, I gotta mow under the awning. And I went under the awning, and I forgot about the damn thing.
Yeah.
At the top, ripped $3,000, ripped it off.
Oh yeah,
That's probably-
my roll bar is now like parallel
I
to
need
the floor.
to do. I need to
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, which is a great idea for not hitting stuff, but not as good for when you
For
roll
rolling.
them over.
Yeah, what's actually stuck in the low area right now, because actually my friend Tony Rosati was there. He's like, Buck, I'm gonna come and help you mow, and he drove it into the thing, and I said, don't worry, Tony, I've done that plenty of times.
I'm
We'll
gonna
get it
turn
out.
Caden loose on mine tomorrow.
Yeah,
See how that goes.
I got mine in a low area. I have a big tractor, a little tractor, and then a zero turn tractor.
You can tell when guys really like their farms because all we talk about is the
Tractor.
farm.
I know, I was just sitting here thinking we're doing this horse show and we're talking about tractors.
But I
Yeah.
love Kubota's like zero turn. I'm hooked
It's
on
awesome.
it.
But I drove my littler tractor into the low area that actually you can flood to make it into an area to swim the horses.
Right, when you forget and leave the water on, you mean?
Well, no, even if then you got to put the water on proper. But I was going to mow it. I decided I don't want this thing. And all of a sudden I hit this and it started to go like this, right? And
Oh, no.
so I jumped off the side you can't get off, right? And things like sitting like this,
Yeah,
right?
smart move.
And anyway, I had to go get the other tractor.
You probably learned that from Danny Warrington.
I did.
How to dismount from your tractor and
exactly.
land correct.
And make sure you look for where you're going to land.
Right. Do this with the hands,
I got
create
a lot
the
of
diamond.
practice.
Yeah.
Danny, on that subject, Danny's a great friend, and we used to race ride together when I was a kid, and Danny was professional. And he comes to me, he's like, look, man, he's like, this is fantastic. He's like, people don't do this when they're falling. I said, what do you mean? He's like, look, you're looking for where you want to land. I said, people don't have as much practice as I do.
That's how you get good at it.
Hey,
good at
I've
it,
had
yeah.
enough practice. I want
Yeah.
to land over there. That's funny.
So, speaking of falling,
Yeah.
your horses. So, you had, I know,
That's a
that was a
weird
great
segue.
segue.
Yeah, I've crashed
So-
more tractors lately than horses.
That's good, that's good.
That's good.
So, did you just run at Stable View?
I did, yep.
And who did you have there?
I had Carlevo, Jack by Style, Errol Gobi, Sorokema, and Victor BZ.
Okay, and those were all in the 4 short?
4 short, yep.
And
You were
how
third on.
I was third on Gobi and fifth on Jack. That's awesome.
And I think it's really cool with the Gobi horse because I feel like, and I could be wrong, like you kind of had him at the level for a couple seasons now, and he's kind of one that to me I always liked him. I kept an eye on him, but he always kind of flew under the radar, like just showed up, did his thing. I feel like not a lot of people noticed him or knew who he was, and he's kind of developing into, if not your top horse, certainly one of the top horses this season.
Yeah, I sort of, I think here in this country it's pretty easy to get them up the levels quick because you do Rocking Horse Ocala, and so you end up getting them up to the top level probably fairly quickly. But that doesn't mean that to me that they're physically or mentally strong enough. And so I sort of, a lot of, whether it was Reggie or Copper Beach or Gobi or Carlevo or whoever, a lot of them got to the advanced level at 8, but I would never ask them to go fast until they were at least 10. And because I don't think they're physically ready, no matter how, and you see so many nice young horses that get to the level and they're broken before they're good enough. And, I love my horses and I want them to last for a long time. And so Gobi's just now 11 and he started going advanced at 8, but he just went quietly and, try to get him rideable and, get him to relax about the dressage test and all that kind of stuff. He's always been a very good jumper, but mentally he had to catch up to his body.
Right.
And this year he had a wind surgery last year, and when Reggie had a wind surgery in his career, he had a few of them, but it really, horses that can't breathe, they get very nervous. And it's not just on the cross country, but on the dressage and everything. And Gobi has really stepped up this year. And I feel like most of my horses, whatever they're doing in the warm up, they go in the ring and are better and they behave. And Gobi took a little while to kind of fall in line, but I feel like this year he's really done that. And it's exciting because he has ability. He has a presence. He's got an unbelievable canter. He's a beautiful mover, and it's the owners have been fantastic, and let me take the time to do what I need to do, and hopefully we're going in the right direction.
So what are they aimed for Kentucky?
Yeah. So I have Gobi, Jack, and Carlevo hopefully
All the
for
5-star.
Kentucky.
And then you taking a couple 4-star shorts?
No, I'm a bit too old for that now, Rick.
Can't do
Well,
those shorts.
I can't remember the courses anymore. I probably ride them, but
We
remember
did
them.
hear some stories before the show started that you don't remember things, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break, and then I want to come back and I want to hear a little bit more about the horses and also what it's like being Bruce Davidson's
son.
kid.
Yeah.
All right.
right.
I'll let you know.
Let me in on the secret.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique uses manual pressure and stretching to release points of restriction, leading to freer movement, reduced soreness, and restored range of motion. He has a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle. You can quickly identify and correct any balance issues and can adjust your saddle on site. I personally have Grant work on all of my event horses to keep them feeling their best before, during, and after their competitions. Grant is based in Florida year-round, but regularly travels to Georgia, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454. Jump for Joy USA has what you need for your private farm or recognized competition. Our jumps are no maintenance, easy to move, and affordable. No scraping or painting necessary. We offer jump stands, wings, fillers, water trays, and more. Poles are wood-filled and available in 4 weights and lengths. And we now offer octagonal poles. Our cross-country portables and brush jumps are extremely useful and have been used for training by the British eventing team since 1990. Easy to move from the arena to the field and no tractor required, so you can change your setup often. We ship coast to coast in the USA and Canada. Visit our website, jumpforjoyusa.com. When it comes time to compete, I demand the best out of my horses and myself. That's why Elemental Fit Lab, the home of CrossFit antics, is my home gym. Coach Vilma and her team create a fun, welcoming environment for athletes of all levels. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, Elemental Fit Lab will guide you towards a stronger, healthier version of you. Mention the Jon and Rick Show to get 3 free personal training sessions with enrollment.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, an amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, which I got right. Yeah, good job. Yeah, thank you. And we're still here with Buck, because we're going to hear some more stories, fun times, and I think a little bit about your father. What was that like growing up with Bruce?
I mean, you want the real stories?
Yeah, no, we want the real
course.
stories are always the most entertaining.
It's really boring. I mean,
No, tell us the bad stories, not the fake ones.
He was
Tell us
just
the
a
fake
dad.
one.
He was just a dad, right?
Yeah.
Like,
True
but
that.
like when I was a kid, I went to boarding school, And all my friends were so excited to go home for vacation. And I'm thinking, you guys got no idea, this is vacation, right? I go home, you gotta be at the barn, at muck stalls, do whatever.
Well, it's funny you say you're in boarding. How long were you in boarding school? Till what age?
Graduated from Lawrence.
So I would, because I was competing at advanced in the day with your dad, and I was always like, I never saw you around that much. And it was because you were in boarding school, right?
Yeah.
Or mucking stalls, probably.
I'd see.
Yeah. No, I really wasn't really into the horses. I tried to, I was really into ice hockey and
all the good stuff.
Baseball, soccer, all that kind of stuff. But when I look back on it now, like, I used to think my life sucked, right? Because I had to be at the barn at 7 o'clock, and it wasn't 7:01. It was 7 o'clock. And but my parents taught me how to work.
Right.
And as they say, work travels. And so, I'm happy enough to spend money because I know how to make it. And so I'm super thankful for that, for my parents, that they were, they probably weren't the easiest. I mean, if anybody knows Dad.
I can't imagine your dad would have been a real easy dad.
I would see your mom a lot as well, and she was always in the early days, always there doing just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So I know
my mom was.
She was
everything.
a hard worker. She is a hard worker.
Yeah.
I would see her just.
And she's the most competitive one of everybody.
I bet.
And she makes my dad look like he's not competitive at all. And I mean, I could win on 5 horses and be second on 1, and she'll call me up and say, "Why was so and so second?" And I said, "Mom, I mean."
So I guess the 3rd place at Stableview didn't do any good then? No.
I had to answer to why, yeah. So, anything other than a 1 is not good. But, my parents, this is just what Dad did, right? Like, we used to get in the car and we would go to Pleasant Hollow. It seemed like Pleasant Hollow was every single weekend, right? Like, it seemed like...
So it was like the rocking horse of that.
And you woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you get there, and I just remember waking up and seeing that shavings pile right by the indoor. Like, I just remember Pleasant Hollow. And then we get stuffed in the back of the car and we go to the Kentucky Horse Park.
Yeah.
And it was the spring. We went, and Dad won Kentucky. That's just what happened.
That's
right?
what you did.
I didn't know that he would
not
wouldn't.
win.
Yeah, like it never even occurred to me that he might not win. And it's only
cool.
now later that
you understand
how kind of difficult it was. But yeah, that was just sort of normal.
Yeah.
It's got to be kind of cool as well going to Kentucky and there's the statue of your dad by the ring. It's got to be cool, and I would imagine maybe a little bit of pressure.
Well, it's crazy, like the world we live in now, right? Like, so I always used to joke with Dad when I was a kid that I would say, "You're eventually going to be Buck's dad." And Dad and I were walking down from the statue down towards the warm-up on the road one year in Kentucky, and there were these people behind us, and somebody said something about the statue, and they said, "Yeah, that's Buck's dad."
That's
right?
awesome.
We just happened to be in front of them. And but it's a funny world, right? Like, there was no social media, there was none of this stuff, and so a lot of people riding right now don't even know who Mike Plum was, or so it's kind of funny.
It's kind of, I think, a bit of the shame of this sport compared to like baseball and football and a lot of the more mainstream sports. Is you go to a baseball game and you see, not that you would anymore because unfortunately he passed away last year, but if you saw Hank Aaron, it was a big deal. I remember going to Dallas to watch the Green Bay Packers play, and Bart Starr was there, and it was like, wow, that's Bart Starr.
Right.
And like, no joke, your dad is on par with those guys in this sport, 100%. And you're right, like, I see him at the events down here occasionally, and I think it's probably a great thing. He can just cruise around the event, and yeah, people know him, but they don't bother him, and they should. All you kids out there, you should be bothering Bruce.
And the story about me, you just said Mike Plum. We were at Carolina, and Mike lives in Carolina, and you see Mike going to walk the show jump. He has his glasses, as he always does, and I said, "Mr. Plum."
Yeah.
And who's asking? I was like,
I call him Mr. Plum too, and he won't let me. He yells at me.
Rick Wallace, and he goes, "Hey, Rick, it's good to see you." So he goes, "Yeah, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm not riding this weekend." He goes, "Then you can be a smart aleck like me." And I was like, "Great." Then we go and watch the thing, and I'm driving, and I see this golf cart stuck in the mud, and I'm like, who was
it's hereditary
enough to drive that golf cart into the mud? So we come around, and I see Mike standing at the gate, and he sees me driving up. He goes, Remember me telling you about being a smart aleck? I was like, yeah. He goes, I drove that golf cart into the mud.
And then you just get up and leave, probably. Yeah,
Just leave it.
Dad does that with the rental cars. He can't figure out where to take it, so he
leaves
just
it.
parks it in the parking lot, leaves the keys in it, and gets on the plane. They'll figure it out.
Crazy.
Right. Yeah.
So 2021, who do you have applied for the Olympics with?
Whoever's going advanced. I mean, you just
They're all
apply 'em all.
applications,
I think it costs $50 or something. It doesn't matter how
Yeah,
many
you
you put
just
on
put
there.
'em all in
so, you know,
So what's your pick? Is it Gabi?
Oh, I don't. I mean, I'm right now just concentrating on Kentucky.
There you go.
You know,
One event at a time.
yeah, I mean, I think the horses end up telling you anyway.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about, you know, one thing Dad told me is you want to go when they're begging you, not when you're begging them. And so, you know, I just try to do my job.
That's a good line.
You know, and you know, I'm just going to try to do the best I possibly can do at Kentucky, and before that at Chattahoochee this week, and
See what
whatever
happens.
happens. Yep.
So we were talking to Eric DeVander
Yep.
at Carolina, which, by the way, we have that clip of the interview. It wasn't good enough for the sound, but you can watch it on YouTube. On the
Yeah, we
Jon
didn't
and
want to
Rick
put it
show.
on the podcast because the
Right.
sound is good if you can watch the video, but to have it on the podcast wouldn't be great. So we're going to have it as a separate bit on YouTube.
We're talking about the challenges of picking the team this year because you're a three man and woman team, you know, and what is it that's going to constitute what's happening? I think, to your point, it's going to be what happens after Kentucky, and then subsequently what happens after Jersey Fresh. So to see what horse is still wanting to go after that, right?
I think there's also a big question as far as about the Olympics. Like, are they just going to happen? Period.
Right.
You know, like, and if the Olympics go ahead, like, are they going to have equestrian sports in them? You know, like with Europe being shut down because of the herpes stuff, and
Which it just opened back up, which is good.
I'm a little
This
late.
is so much stuff in question.
But
You're
there's
right. You don't even know.
You know, so like you can only worry about the
What's happening.
right now,
Right.
and the sure thing. And the sure thing is
Kentucky.
for me, chat. Hopefully this week. Then Ocala.
Well, and I will say, even for what it's worth, Eric basically said the same thing because we were asking him, and he goes into it in the interview about just that. He's like, look, if the riders have the horses ready, they go where they want to go, and then we'll worry about
What's
the
happening
Olympics
there.
after that, because if they're fit and ready to go, you've got to run them.
Right.
So kind of the same idea. I just want to say just a little bit of a transition here that I'm really appreciative you even showed up tonight, because I had to text this guy, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 times just to remind him that this was actually
He
happening.
made it.
I made it on time.
And you'd think I'm joking, but we actually were supposed to have Buck on, I think 2 months ago,
You didn't show up.
and then he forgot, and then got
Well,
double booked.
Well, I mean, I had
do
to take
remember
my
that.
wife out for a nice date night, and
Oh, well, right.
you know, all that
Understandable.
stuff. And right, Andre, remember?
Yeah. This is why you have 2
Date.
kids.
Yeah, yeah. And,
How are
yeah.
the girls? They're doing good?
they are. Yep, they're awesome.
Well,
Aubrey
that-
just turned 5.
And she's quite the little pony dress rider. She likes to wear a dress and ride her pony, and she looks great.
And she talk about competitive. So I have a really nice young horse called Sorokema that's just gone up to the 4-star level. So I was at Stable View last week, and Aubrey said to Andre, she said, how did Cam do in the dressage? And Andre says, he did at 33. And she says, is he winning? And Andre said, no, it's a process, you know, it takes a little while. And Aubrey says, okay, when's the process over so we can win every time?
It's your mother.
She's just like grandma.
Come on, I mean, jeez, this thing's anyway. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
She's awesome, and her
Ellie.
little sister Ellie is like 6 or 7 months
I know,
now.
that's awesome.
And she said "dada" the other day, and I'm not sure she knew what she was saying, but
She might have been talking about, like, we need more data on the phone.
yeah, exactly, yeah, or maybe the phones could work.
Right.
But no, they're fantastic. It is.
It's fun being a father.
It's awesome, and it
So-
sort of makes everything sort of make sense a little bit.
So you're
yeah?
doing the right thing. You're getting him. I mean, horses are the best way because Elisa being now 38, horses kept boys away forever, and then the shotgun really works well.
Go,
too.
Yeah.
no, he's wrong.
Yeah.
Just go get them into hockey.
No,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
too late.
I think it's really important. Like for me, sports were really, team sports were really important.
Sure.
Because I think I use more of what I learned in the team sports in my everyday business than I ever learned at school.
Right.
And it's not quite as easy, you know, getting the girls into team sports. They're not quite as available down here in Ocala as they.
Sorry.
Bless you.
And so soccer is a big thing.
Yep.
And you know, riding it's so available to Aubrey, just like it was to me, that I know she doesn't appreciate it. I know I didn't appreciate
Right.
it. But I really want her to have those skills of being able to communicate with other people
Sure.
and
important.
work as a team. And
She sounds like she has really good communication skills already, so you need to start winning.
as long as she's winning,
Yeah, you better win.
Yep. If she's not winning, she takes
Got to win no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Talking about winning, it
Yeah.
was fun having you here. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back. I'll start texting now so
Okay.
that
We
hopefully
get
when
you
your
back
phone
in.
starts working
When my
again,
phone
you
starts
can,
working, there you go.
get the text. That'd be super.
Yeah.
So don't forget on the Jon and Rick Show to go subscribe to the Jon and Rick Show's YouTube channel. Also, you can find us on Facebook. We are on Spotify, other
All the podcast players.
So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
And we're actually next time going to be coming from the Ocala International
Horse Trials.
Yeah. So when you win that, we'll try
grab
to get
you.
you
I'll
back
be
on.
there, hopefully.
All right. All right. Thanks, Buck. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
We'll
guys.
see you in a couple weeks.
Rick Wallace,
And I have Don Holly here with me.
3 phases, dressage, cross country, show jump, and you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right, you know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.